So Marvel recently released a sizzle reel trailer for Phase 4 of the MCU that included a ton of new information, including titles and release dates for upcoming movies like Black Panther 2 and Captain Marvel 2. But the thing I want to talk about is we got our very first look at the Eternals, so let's go ahead and get started. Hey everyone, welcome to the Apparel Company YouTube channel. I'm your resident superhero nerd, Aaron Waller, and today I want to shed a little bit of light on one of Marvel's little known series and upcoming movies, The Eternals. But before we get started, I want to remind you to check out animeapparelcompany.com using the link down in the description for all your awesome needs from superheroes, anime, gaming. We have all tons of new merch all the time, and be sure to use the code AARON20 to get 20% off your order. Now back to the Eternals. Although not a lot is known about what is actually going to be happening in the movie in terms of story structure or main bad guy, anything like that, I wanted to give you a little bit of a breakdown as to who the Eternals are, because there are a lot of them and it's kind of confusing after a while. Essentially, the Eternals is a saga about a race of immortal beings created by Celestials who lived on Earth and shaped its history and civilization. And we've actually seen and heard of Celestials before in both Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and Volume 2. In the first one, there was a brief scene where the Collector is explaining what the Celestials were to the Guardians, and in Guardians 2, Ego self-proclaims himself as a Celestial, essentially a god. Now, the Eternals will have a star-studded cast, and we're going to go over all of them individually, at least the main ones for the most part. But keep in mind that a lot of them do have very similar traits, including immortality, super strength, durability, stamina, all these like super-powered stuff. All of them have them, but each one has specialized traits as well. First, we have Icarus, played by Richard Madden. Icarus is basically Marvel's Superman, but even more overpowered. He can control energy and use it to fly, shoot it from his hands and his eyes, and basically has never-ending stamina, which makes him essentially unstoppable, and he even introduced the Eternals to Earth as a team of superheroes. Thena will be played by Angelina Jolie. She's the daughter of Zeus who can manipulate cosmic energy for various purposes, but her main abilities is that she is excellent hand-to-hand in combat and is very skilled in weaponry, so she will be a fighting machine. Cersei will be played by Gemma Chan. She possesses the ability to transmutate objects on a molecular level. She's passed this off as illusion or magic throughout the ages, and she is the strongest at these abilities amongst the Eternals. Kingo will be played by Kumail Nanjiani, who in the comics has all the typical powers of an Eternal, but typically forgoes them in battle for a traditional fighting style. In the movie, however, he will be a skilled swordsman who is obsessed with fame and is a famous Bollywood star. And this will be a really interesting dynamic to see played out, because essentially these guys are ages old, and so I don't know how they're going to incorporate him to be famous, but it'll be really fun nonetheless. Black Knight, or Dane Whitman, will be played by Kit Harington. He's a strategist, skilled swordsman, is immune to magic, and has no superhuman abilities, but he does possess the powers of some of the Eternals based on various bonds. Makkari will be a gender-bent character and played by Lauren Riddoff. This character of course possesses all the usual list of abilities, but is especially fast. And if you pay attention in this sizzle reel, you'll actually get to see this character moving a little bit fast as they shoot into frame and join the rest of the Eternals. Phastos will be played by Brian Tyree Henry. He's a master engineer and has the power of invention. Basically, he can make whatever he can imagine. Druig will be played by Barry Keoghan. He has the ability to control the mind of humans. He's often more withdrawn from the group and often difficult to tell which side he's on. He's basically Loki 2.0. Sprite will be played by Liam McHugh, and now this character is stuck looking like a child and is often hanging around Cersei, so a lot of their abilities are actually the same in terms of matter manipulation abilities, but it's just going to be interesting to see that dynamic as a child. Gilgamesh will be played by Don Lee. He's very similar to Icarus in terms of being overpowered and is actually considered to be the most powerful Eternal. Kind of makes me wonder if we'll see Icarus and Gilgamesh go toe-to-toe. And finally, Ajak will be played by Salma Hayek. She's essentially the immortal spiritual leader within the Eternals and can communicate with Celestials. Long story short, these characters are basically like the Avengers or Justice League, but like ancient beings who are mega overpowered and probably unstoppable, so who the villain will be very interesting, or at least what the dynamic of the story will be, how these essential gods will have to face becoming human. And what's also really exciting, as well as a reason you should be excited to see the Eternals, is that the director Chloe Zhao actually recently won an Academy Award for her best directing for Nomadland. So you know we're going to be in for a treat having an Academy Award-winning director helming probably one of the coolest, most over-the-top, overpowered action superhero movies ever. It's going to be an awesome time. Now, as I mentioned earlier, not a lot is actually known about these characters or the actual movie itself, but it will be interesting once we finally get a trailer, and this movie is set to release in November 5th, so hopefully we'll get all of that soon and you'll know I'll be all over it. So I hope this not so quick rundown of the Eternals and their characters was helpful for you at least a little bit. If you did enjoy this video, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below. Also, while you're down there, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to join the AAC universe, and ring the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos from me or the rest of the AAC team. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it, and we hope to see you in the next video.
Bye.